Good morning, and this is your math tutor here, and today we're going to talk about how to solve equations using the balancing method. Okay, so the idea of a balancing method came from using a balance scale. What is the purpose of this balance scale? Purpose of this is that the weight which is found on the left-hand side must be equal to the weight which is found on the right hand side. So here we have an equal balanced scale. Okay, so what value does this empty bag have? And now we have to find it. So on the left hand side we have 12 plus an empty value which is equal to 30. And we have to find this missing value here. Okay, in order to do this we have to use subtraction. Okay, by removing 12 from 30 to find the missing value. Okay, so now we cannot subtract 2 from 0. We have to cross out the 30 here, the 3, okay, which becomes 2. That 1 I have taken means that 10 is given to the unit side. Okay, so 10 minus 2 gives us 8. 2 minus 1 gives us 1. Okay, so here we have a value of 18. Therefore, 12 added to 18 should give us the same weight as 30. So that is one simple example of using the balance scale. Now let us talk about algebraic equations. Okay, so here we have our first example. Put this in this for you. So here we have our first example. So what does x stand for here? We have to find the value of the missing bag here, okay, which is called x. So our equation here tells us that on the left we have an expression x plus 1, okay, and on the right hand side the value of 7. Okay? Therefore, till now our scale is balanced. Okay? Now, our aim, however, is to find the value of x. In order to find the value of x, the first thing to come to mind, okay, is to leave x alone on this side. Okay? However, if we remove that one, our balance is not balanced now. Okay? So our equation is not balanced, is not equal. So what should we do in order to solve this equation? So here we have the same equation again. Okay. Now the purpose of the balance scale, in order to keep it balanced, in order to keep it equal, okay, what you have to do on the left hand side has to be done also on the right hand side. Okay. So how can we find the value of x? By first we have to remove the same weights from both sides, which will keep the scales balanced. Okay, so first we have to cancel out this one. We have to remove this one. However, when we remove this one on the left hand side, we also need to remove one from the right hand side to keep the balanced always balanced, okay, always equal. Let us take one from the left and take one from the right. Okay, so what did we do here? How can we write this down? So from the left we have removed one. From the right, we also have removed 1, okay, which will give us the end result of x plus 0, since 1 minus 1 gives us the value of 0, 7 minus 1 gives us 6. Till now, we have kept the balance equal, the balance balanced, okay, a balanced game. Now, what was the value of x? Since 0 has a null value, okay, x is equal to 6 here. Right? So the main thing here when you use the balanced method, okay, to solve an equation is what you do to the left hand side has to be done exactly on the right hand side. Let us go back to working out um, some questions here. Okay, so solve the following one-step equations by using the balancing method. So here we have x plus 2, which is equal to 6. Okay, now we are not going to use a balance scale. You have to imagine what will happen to this equation. Okay, you always have to do the same thing as if you have a balance scale. If you do one thing to the left, but you don't do the same thing to the right, your equation will not be balanced, will not be equal. So here, what do we have? We have x plus 2 is equal to 6. Okay, our aim here is to find the value of x. In order to find the value of x, we have to cancel out this 2. We have to remove this 2. We remove this 2 by getting it to a value of 0. Now, 2 minus 2 gives us 0. Okay, so those cancel out each other. However, we have to do minus 2 as well on the right hand side to keep the equation balanced. Okay, so what will we end up with? We end up with x plus 0, which is equal to 4. Therefore, x is equal to 4. We can check this answer by substituting this x with 4. Okay, so 4 plus 2 gives us a value of 6. Okay, so our answer here is correct. Let us move to the next question. So y plus 5 is equal to 0. Our aim here is to find the value of y. Okay, we find the value of y by cancelling out this 5 first. So here we have minus 5. We do the same thing on the right hand side and we have minus 5 there as well. Okay, so we end up with y. This becomes 0 is equal to 11 minus 5, which gives us 6. Therefore, y has a value of 6. Okay, alright, next question here. We have 6 plus x is equal to 9. Our aim here is to find the value of x. Okay? What do we do with this 6? We have to cancel it out. Okay, so 6 to get to 0, we have to subtract 6. We subtract 6 from 9 as well, okay, which will leave us with 0 plus x is equal to 3, since 9 minus 6 has a value of 3. Therefore, x here is equal to 3. Okay, and there you have your first 3 examples. Now, let's move on to another example, okay, involving subtraction in the equations of algebra. Okay, so now let me share my screen for you. Okay, so now we have another example. So let's give it some time. Okay, so now we have this equation. We have to find x. Now we have subtraction, so x minus 1 on the left, which is equal to 6. Okay, so what does it say here? That x minus 1 on the left must be equal to 6. Okay, so here we have 6 blocks. Our aim is to find the value of x, is to leave x alone on the left hand side. Therefore, we need to do some steps. So first, he is telling us that adding the same weights from both sides, okay, will keep the scales balanced. Okay, so adding the same weights to both sides will keep the scales balanced. So what do we have to do? In order to cancel out this minus 1, to bring this minus 1 to 0, we have to add a positive 1. Okay. However, we also need to add a positive 1 to this side. Keep the balanced equal, balanced. Okay. So what are we left with? So what did we do? Minus 1. We added 1 to the left and we added 1 to the right. We are left with x plus 0, since minus 1 plus 1 gives us 0. 6 plus 1 on the right hand side gives us 7. Okay? Therefore, our x value here is 7. If you put 7 here and subtract 1, you should get the answer of 6. Okay? And there you have another example. Now let us work out the subtraction ones. Okay? So here we have x minus 2 is equal to 10. Our aim here is to find the value of x. Okay? So x, we have to find it. Now, um, to let x alone on the left hand side, we have to remove this minus 2. We have to cancel it out. In order to cancel minus 2, we have to add 2. Okay, when I say cancel, you bring the value to 0. And then I have to add 2 to the right hand side as well. Okay, so we are left with x minus 2 plus 2 gives us 0, which is equal to 12. Thus, therefore, x is equal to 12. Okay, let's move on to the next example. So our aim here is to find the value of y. Okay, so we have to cancel out minus 1. In order to cancel out minus 1, instead we need to add plus 1. Okay, we need to add 1 to both sides. Therefore, we are left with y minus 1 plus 1 gives us 0, which is equal to 8. Therefore, y has a value of 8. Okay. Last example here, we have to find the value of p. Okay. So we have to cancel out minus 5 by adding 5 to the left hand side and add 5 to the right hand side as well. Okay. Then we are left with p minus 5 plus 5 gives us 0. 3 plus 5 gives us 8. Therefore, p here has a value of 8. Okay. So thank you for watching. I hope you like this video. If you want to see more explanations, more lesson videos, you can always subscribe to my channel. Okay, to watch all the videos I am uploading in these days. Thank you and have a nice day.